Yeah, you wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? And all my weird stuff, I bet you do. Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, you wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? And all my weird stuff, I bet you will. Yeah, I bet you wanna touch my skeleton still. Fucked up like a bridge in the country, with my pelvis full of energy. I'll rate you out like an enemy, put you in a bag with BWC. I was the man in 63. 100 years, I'm so bony, I don't let it stop me. Activia and Advil with my Remy, cut full of calcium, mercury and amalgam, battery and some cognac, a Sharpie and a blackjack. Count cards like a live man, put in more work than a 55 man. I'm moving out like your dad. You wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, and I will never shame you. Getting skeleton shamed at 2064. That was my punishment. I'll show you to the door. Your mom likes my bone. Your dad likes my bone. Your mom likes my bone. Your dad likes my bone. Your mom likes my bone. Your dad likes my bone. Your mom likes my bone. And they're not alone. Welcome to the fucking skeleton zone.
It ends quite abruptly. But now, you know what? Just to ease us back into chiller music, I'm gonna just put the Going Under soundtrack on in the background. Hee. A good soundtrack. That poor game really, did not get the attention it deserved. And it has proved remarkably prescient. I am sorry that I started out late today. I could not sleep last night. Combination of weird health stuff and also just struggling to get to sleep. I think what I need to do is just say no phone when I get in bed. That might be part of the problem. I hardly slept at all last night. I think I slept 3 hours. Who knows, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good to help reset my sleep schedule. Yes, I'm dying. Correct. No, I'm not dying. I have been reading, one thing that I decided to do last night that was nice and was helping me relax was actually reading in bed. It's a habit that I used to be in that I abandoned. But then I decided to try it again last night because, I'm so busy during the day. It's hard for me to justify spending time. I mean, it's hard for me to justify spending time doing much other than working right now. So, taking a book with me into bed is really nice. You won't nary. Yoo-hoo. No, I am doing okay today. Ah. Hee. But it's nice. I'm reading through the Time Machine. Very short. You can do it in one afternoon if you really want, but I just been reading it in short bursts. The Time Machine is very remarkably not that much about the Time Machine. Just by the way, in case any of you were wondering. It's more about what happens to humanity in the distant future, and it is not good. It is not good. Event Horizon is more of a time machine than Time Machine. Yeah. The Time Machine is the thing that gets him to the future, yes. But it's not really about the Time Machine. You would think that if it were about the Time Machine, then he'd be jumping around through time, right? He goes back in time and he sees the dinosaurs and he sees Pangea and then he goes to the future and everything's really cool and then the space police grab his time machine and he has to get it back. No. It's he goes to one time. He goes to the far future. And he discovers that humanity has evolved into two... You guys, the Time Machine is actually a satire on and commentary on class. on class inequality. I'm not even kidding. I'm actually quite enjoying it. It falls into some of the same traps as early 1900s American literature where it spends too much time explaining itself when what it's saying is already quite self-evident, right? You look at the setting, right? And you look at his inferences about the setting, and it's you didn't have to say any of this. This was obvious. It's obvious that this is a metaphor. It's not even a metaphor for class. Kind of is. It's not that it insists upon itself, it's that H.G. Wells seems like he was scared that people wouldn't get the fucking memo. Did you get it? Dolores syncretic origin with livestock. Maddie G, that is accurate. been credited as a forerunner for speculative evolution. Yes, carcinization, I believe it's called, where everything regresses to crab. Oops, loud. What if it was actually about ass? It's kind of like team writers who use subtext. Yeah, exactly. Talks. Writers who don't have faith in their subtext are cowards. I can't talk about it too much. You'll all see very soon. But I've written a thing, and it's weird. And I wrote it and I looked at it and I'm like, is this too esoteric? Like, are people gonna get it? Are people gonna get this? It's a little out there. But you know what? The only thing worse than being so esoteric that nobody gets it is blatantly stating the subtext. That is the only worst sin. Well, I don't know if that's the only worst sin. There are a lot of bad sins that you can commit in writing, but it is definitely a worse sin to explain your subtext than it is to just let it be weird and difficult to penetrate. Fuck, people won't shut the fuck up about the ending of Evangelion. Why should I give a shit if my writing is a little bit difficult to parse? I froze? Lost tracking for a moment there? Don't say the hero is heroic, show them being heroic. They're Gotcha, Reverend Joe. Oh my god, could you guys imagine? Okay, I've only read the first bit of Lolita, but could you imagine if, like, an editor got their hands on Lolita and was like, you know, you need to make the main character more likable. There's a fucking editor out there. Like, I don't think people are going to like this narrator. I don't think they're going to like this main character. Could you fucking... An editor would absolutely do that. I defy you to say otherwise. An editor would absolutely say that. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I defy you. This character seems bad. Yes. Yes. Congratulations. You guys, I am on the cusp of ordering way too much tea. Look, I fucking love duck shit tea. And I found a good price on really good duck shit tea. And I kind of want to just go all out and have that be my daily drinker, because it's relatively cheap. I could get... Okay, the price I found was 500 grams for $120. Except I'm only going to have like 3.5 grams every day. So hold on, actually, let me go into my calculator. So, 500 grams divided by 3.5 that will last me 142 days. If I only drink that. Addicted to the duck shit. Yes. Hey, Uwu, how you doing? Sup, dork? Give in to your desires. I just might. I just might. It sounds like a lot, but understand that that is like pretty much all the beverage that I drink, right? People spend way more on soda and coffee and alcohol. This is my fluid. Something I said set off your Google Home? Yeah, Neri? Yeah? Hey Google, what's the book Lolita? I would love to see an AI try to like describe the book Lolita without like triggering any of its safeguards. What is duck shit tea? It's just a name. Hear that out of my mother's Google history. I'm sorry. Congratulations, you all are now on a list. Whew. Actually out here causing physical harm. You're welcome. You're on plenty of lists. You're on my short list of people I like. Got him. But no, for those who don't know, duck shit tea is just a name. It's a actually quite light tea, almost a dessert tea. I think it would be called. It's a dansong oolong. Very gentle, but very fragrant. It has nothing to do with ducks or their shit. The apocryphal story as to how the tea got its name is like this tea was really popular and people came, like other tea makers came in and they're like, how do you make this tea? And the tea makers didn't want to give up their secrets. Like they didn't want to just say, oh yeah, it's the cultivar, because they didn't want people stealing their tea bushes. So, or like taking clippings. So they said, oh yeah, it's the soil. Right, like you see how it's this really interesting color? It's because there's lots of duck shit in it. That is the story that is passed around. But how true it is, it's hard to say. But it works. No, it is not like the lemur shit coffee. It's not like civet coffee. No. It has nothing to do with ducks or shit. There is, however, apparently a tea. Well, I say apparently. There is a tea that is made from the feces of caterpillars that are fed specific tea leaves. I tried it. It was fine. I didn't actually buy it. I just tasted it at the tea festival. Deny, deceive, duck shit. Hey guys, I think we found our raid message already. But no, I'm not saying that tea is better than coffee in like the amount that shit is involved, right? Because you have civet coffee. And then you have, like, and it's like, oh, haha, you have shit coffee. Like, yeah, tea has caterpillar shit. Was it an experience worthy of eating shit? It was fine. I wasn't bothered, but like, it didn't taste like shit, right? Hold on, I fucking love this. Someone comes in with a first-time chat named I Love Murder, and they just said, do more video again. Fuck! I'm sorry. Short answer, yes. I'm about to drop a 6-hour-long video if I deciphered your message correctly. Yes, I do more video. I have a 6-hour-long video about EVE Online dropping. I'm just waiting on my graphic designer so I can plunk it all in and then upload it. I'm sorry if this is mean. Yes, I have no intention of ending down the rabbit hole anytime soon. It's still my main job. Like it's still my full-time job. It's just been a bit of a project. Do more video again. I'm sorry, was that mean? I think that might have been mean. Just a dude comes in named I Love Murder. Yeah, alright. The username really sells it. This is my... Hello, I love murder. And I wonder, do you do more video again? Please. Fred's target audience, murder enthusiasts. Getting cancelled for having an audience of murderers. Oh dear. But no, I have lots of videos planned out. I love murder. I plan on doing this into the indefinite future. Like video after this one, I'm already planning. I'm doing some preliminary work on the video after the 6-hour-long video. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. Give me a I have the giggles. Wait a minute. I think he might have meant video games. No, I don't think so. Because he was a first-time chatter. And like usually people who come in and just like ask about my video, ask like a question right away. It's like, are you doing more videos? Because it's been 2 years. I have to assume that he was asking about the videos. Ender, Ark is doing well. The poor boy, the poor boy had to have a root canal. Ugh. Poor fellow. But he's doing well. He's doing well. He's recovering quite quickly. And he's actually working right now. He has some, you know what? Hold on. Okay, I'm actually responding. Ooh. Okay, ooh, okay. There's a thing. There's a thing that's a little bit secret right now that I'm gonna do before the new video. But he's sending me stuff. This I can't talk about this. People will love it. A look at this once stream is done. But no, Ark is already, he finished up section 18 and is just rendering it right now. But yeah, Ark, that motherfucker wanted to get to work again right after his surgery. And I'm like, no. No, fuck you. You just went under. Oh dear. The poor boy. Hot meat kettle? Starry feathers meat ban. No, I'm not gonna ban you. That'd be funny though. Where do I sign up for my health benefits and 401k? Well, first you're going to have to get an X Blue account. What are they calling it now? They called it Twitter Blue. And now it's like X... Fucking... Hold on, I'm looking. X Premium. Yeah. Okay. Today is going to just be a day all about, today is going to be a day all about just weird tech bros, apparently. Also, yes, I love murder. It's still my full-time job. Like, Down the Rabbit Hole is still my full-time job and will be into the foreseeable future. I do stuff on the side for fun. And, like, you know, diversifying income is good. But, like, Down the Rabbit Hole is still my main gig. And I have no intention of changing that. I like it. Why is chat so penis-oriented? Because I've trained them. Haven't I, chat? They're penis serious, penis delirious. Go into the woods. I'm advancing the gay agenda. Sure. So, before we get into the main topic, there was something I kind of wanted to bring up. A little while ago, I read a book called The Wind-Up Girl, which was just, like, a miserable read. It was, like... there's a lot of criticism to be had of it, but, like, overall, it was, like, a pretty miserable book. Plenty of things to criticize about it. I remember thinking it was good, in general. No, not perfect, but good. But there is... there is a review of... not a review, okay, so like... there were some... there was a Thai author, because it takes place in Thailand. There was a Thai author who... Ripley, did you just gift a sub to I Love Murder? You know what? Good. Thank you for paying it forward. Hey, I Love Murder, enjoy your froggy. Enjoy your froggy. Bethel, you're welcome. So I'll get to the subs in just a second. But I went to the Wikipedia page for this book, for The Wind-Up Girl, the other day, and I discovered the most incredible quote. The end of the Wikipedia article reads so, quote, in a 2011 interview, Bacigalupi, the author, said that the process of writing The Wind-Up Girl was really kind of painful and traumatic, and that the book's positive reception is confusing to him, emphasizing that, quote, with Wind-Up Girl, I felt ashamed all the time. I felt ashamed while I was writing it. I felt ashamed that I had written it. I felt ashamed that I was inflicting it on other people, and now I feel ashamed when people criticize it. It's so good. It's such a sad quote. I mean, it's so... This poor motherfucker. That quote is just Fredcore, shut the fuck up. Oh, this poor dude. Oh, this poor dude. Uh, my guy, why'd you write the book? It's one of those things where you start and you almost... It's like you have a mission from God. God, what an incredible quote. I felt ashamed with my book. I felt ashamed all the time. I felt ashamed while I was writing it. I felt ashamed that I had written it. I felt ashamed that I was inflicting it on other people, and now I feel ashamed when people criticize it. No, uwu. It almost feels like that sometimes. I remember when I was writing my shitty little book, when I was writing some of the stories, there were moments where I'm like, I need to finish this. But this is just... Oh, like, it doesn't feel good. Like, I needed to get it out. It felt like... Writing that book felt like vomiting. Like, there was something in me that I needed out. Was the book successful? Depends on your definition. Sold a few copies. It wasn't huge though. It was just self-published. So it's not like it was published or anything, right? Like self-published doesn't really count. Not without some sort of basis. But I kind of want to take some of those stories and redo them. There's one in particular that I rather like that I called Machina Urbis, that I want to go back and redo. I might also redo Bloated. I feel like I could go back to these stories and fix them, because like I know what needs to be done to fix them, to make them good. Maybe I just do that and like read them on stream because fuck it. Would you guys like that? I think I've talked about this before, the idea of going back to some of my old stories and rewriting them now that I have years, like so many more years of experience. Starting to sound like an abusive relationship, maybe, with writing. I will say, one thing that I feel like I can write... A lot of the things that I write are kind of more... how do I describe it? More for myself? Like, I'm getting an idea out. However, it is very satisfying to write with Mary. Mary, over the years, has become a very close friend. And writing with him is such a joy. Because he always knows how to guide things in a way that will make things palatable, because I'm not very good at making things palatable. I'm not good at writing things that people want to read. And so Mary makes a big difference in that. I feel like everything that I write with Mary is so much more readable. My YouTube videos are different. I'm talking about fiction. Vexthra, I'm not joining VFur. Sorry. Sorry. I'm still gonna be hanging out with everyone though. That's not gonna change. Not yet. Shut the fuck up. Get those furry detectives out of my chat. V for Vendetta. Shut the fuck up. Get these out. Get these out. Out. Fred will be to V for as Mike is to Vine Sauce. Probably not inaccurate.
Guys, don't listen to him. He's a furry.
Who the fuck did that? Time them out. True Blue review. Timeout. Hold on. That motherfucker. Get. Next time I see you, I'm bapping you down. You piece of. Eat shit. Is there a way for me to change that from like default from 10 minutes to 5 minutes? I feel like 10 minutes is a little heavy.
To call this
Traffic.
place evil implies a clarity of purpose that I do not want to attribute to anyone involved.
That much is fair. God, that is an incredible sound redeem. I'm so glad I chose that one. Hold on, I want to see if I can change this. Okay, content, what is it? Moderation. Content settings, moderation. Here we go. Not auto mod. Harry, how do I change my default timeout? Harry. Okay, just we'll do it later. Whatever. Is there a way to do that? You can't change it. It's just a timeout for 10 minutes button. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I don't care. Fine, I guess you're all just gonna get timed out for 10 minutes. I guess that's just how it's gotta be. Speaking of appreciating my viewers, hey Octatasty, thanks for the 17 months. God damn. Thank you so much. News of Titanic proportions, yes. TBO, thanks for the 10 months. Nary. Thank you for the 11. They say, stream subject is talking about a disaster. I'm sure I won't be updating the 9/11 tracker today. I am trying to talk about 9/11 less. I wonder how many people are here for the first time and wonder if, like, I'm a 9/11 truther or something. No, it's just that we keep finding weird people writing songs about 9/11. Spider, that's terrible. Fuck you. Oh my god, you all are the worst. Levy, thanks for the 5 months. Oh, thanks for introducing me to Whiskey's stream. Yeah, you're welcome. Whiskey's good. Whiskey is good, people. Yeah, hopefully one day I'll get canceled and then I won't have to worry about being online ever again. Mevalander, thanks for the 13 months. Congrats on your unlucky anniversary. Pimp Master Stallion with the 24 months, the 2 years. God damn. That's wild. And thank you for supporting me so much and like all the weird things I do. You guys, I have such things planned and I can't talk about them. But I'm excited. It does put me in this really kind of sad limbo state where like I've been working on stuff a ton for so long and I can't show any of it right now, so it looks like I've just been doing nothing for 2 years. That's just kind of how it that's how it looks because I've been doing such big stuff. It'll all drop and it'll be fine soon. Just it feels bad right now and I live right now. So Floyd Rosa, thanks for the 7 months. Oh, a hearty well done on the latest Down the Rabbit Hole. Oh, do you mean the May Island or you mean EVE Online? Because that has been hard. Gonna level with all of you. Last 2 years have fucking sucked. Like, in ways that some ways that I don't want to talk about, in other ways I'm not at liberty to say. Last 2 years have sucked. Like, real bad. And quite frankly, at this point, I'm just glad to be alive. Oh no, Uwu, I'm never doing anything this big ever again. I am never doing a video this long, ever again. At most, maybe a 2-hour video. At most. No, I have learned my fucking lesson. Bungee Gummy, thanks for the 18 months. I'm watching stream with my pet frog. He arrived on a plant truck at my work and the day after you first showed us Froggy Song. I summoned a froggy into your life. I'm proud of this. Aldiro, thanks for the 17 months. I am become goat destroyer of tape. Good. Yeah, Floyd. I get what you're saying. Yeah, everyone who has seen like bits and pieces of the video have like the unanimous response is, I want to see all of it. Give it to me. I showed it to Atrocity Guide, and I showed the first 40 minutes to Atrocity Guide, and she was like, I need the rest. She was so engrossed. It was so, like, validating. And then the people who have played almost since the game launched, loved it. Like, they heard the script in full and they loved it. They're excited for it. Ugh. Oh, Uwu, do you want to see a screenshot of the timeline? It's... Okay, hold on. I still need to add one last visual track because I'm just adding little credits on all of the images and video. That's one of the things I have to do. That's probably the most time-consuming thing I have to do. It's just that. Next down the rabbit hole in the entire history of tea. Shut the fuck up, Neri. Was that you, Neri? That was definitely Neri. I've been tempted to do so in the past, though. Let me find this. Where did I put this? Why do I just have an image called... I should not show that. But no, here, take a look at the timeline. This is what the timeline looks like, Uwu. Help me. I need to add another visual track. That's spaghetti? Yeah. How many chapters is that? 28. Not including the opening. Or the credits. Alfie. Alfie. Aw. Do you guys see that? I'm an Oshi. This is Vegas Pro. Actually, Uwu, it only crashed like 3 times. It has been very smooth the whole time. Am I going to watch the whole video from beginning to end? Yes. That's actually one of the things that I need to do right now, is just start from the beginning. And just, you know, add credits. So the only things I have left to do in this are add the zooms on the images. You know how, like, with images, it zooms in and out. I'm going to be adding credits to the images and video to show where I got them. Something that I really want to do for this one. There's kind of a culture of that in Eve. I also am going to listen to the audio to make sure everything's nice and balanced. Yeah, that's it. All those orange markers you see, all those orange lines, those are markers for places where I need to, like, add highlighted text, where I need to, like, take the text and highlight it. So the only things I need to do are highlight the text, add the zooms and pans and everything. For the latter half of the video, first half, all of that's done. Need to listen to audio, and that's it. So this is like nothing, right? Like, it's just going to be time consuming, but it's stuff I can do while it's on my, like, while I have a stream on my second monitor, right? Like, this is easy. Looks like a lot of stuff, not as much as it looks like. Just take my word for it, as someone who has done this before, this is the easy part. It's not even going to take that long, like comparatively. It's just because the video's long that it's going to take more than a day. Usually I do that kind of stuff in like a few days. For like a 45-hour long video. What's the hardest? Researching. For this video, researching was the hardest. Writing was really tricky too. I actually at one point had to throw out a quarter of what ended up being the total script and go back to the drawing board for how I was structuring it. I was able to salvage some of the writing, but I had to get rid of half of what I had of the script, which was half of it. Yeah, that was bad. That took a toll mentally, and it was because I fucked up. Like, the reason that I had to do that was because I relied way too heavily on Empires of Eve, and I showed it to Andrew Groen, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, this is way too much, like, leaning on my work. Like, way too much." And I looked at it, and I'm like, "You're right." And I was like, "Fuck." So I had to just get rid of a bunch of it. It wasn't just sour grapes. Like, this dude, like, he was right. He was completely right. It was profoundly embarrassing. Made me anxious working on the video. That's part of why it took so long. Because every time whenever I was writing the script, I was having a panic attack. I like, my heart rate was higher and I was sweating and my hands were shaking. The entire script was written in that state. It was a little rough. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy and I got through it. Ah. I'm not doing anything like this again. A lot of things went wrong. Not everything went wrong with this video, but a lot of things went wrong. No, I looked up to Andrew, yeah. I look up to him. Like, I find his work very good. And admirable. And then, like, I basically dropped my pants and took a giant shit on the floor in front of him. And then threw the feces on him. And was like, "Why doesn't he like me?" Thank you, T-Tomb. I am a big boy. Yeah. There aren't any hard I don't think there are any hard feelings now. Andrew has seen the script and he's fine with it, right? He's given his thumbs up. And he's looking forward to the video now. So that we're fine in that regard. No, he looked at the script and he's like, "Yeah, this looks good." And he's excited for the video. So I can't ask for much more. Some of the post-FanFest critique was unfair. How do you mean? Like it taking too long? I kept giving really unrealistic deadlines for myself, thinking I could meet them, and then I just kept running into problems. I burnt out hard, like, Christ. No, I hope he enjoys the video. I've gotten good feedback from everyone who plays Eve, so I'm hopeful. Sorry, I just got a message. No, the new video is not dropped. However, when the new video drops, I want to do something on stream. I want to do a marathon of the video and give I'm thinking about how I want to do this, if I want to do it on this stream or go on someone else's stream for it, but I want to give a director's commentary for the new video, because you guys, there are so many details that I had to leave out. And I want to, like, stop and be like, you guys, this didn't make it into the video, but you gotta know this. Do it on Nick's stream? There's an idea. I think doing it here makes the most sense. Maybe I invite people on, right? It would take 7 years. Get Mike on. Maybe I get Mike on. Or on Mike's stream. Yeah, maybe I do it on Mike's stream. That would be a place I'd be willing to do it. Nick's stream would be good. But I've been doing director's commentary with Mike for so long now, right? There was I'm going to spoil one thing. I'm giving you all a little sneak peek. I tell the story of how Pandemic Legion, an elite combat org in EVE Online, lost a fight and decided to hide their fleet in wormhole space. They scanned down a wormhole and started piling all their ships in. Here's the problem. If you put too much mass through a wormhole, then the wormhole collapses. And they didn't remember this. So part way through hiding their fleet in the wormhole collapsed, with their only scanner on the K-space side. So they were trapped in wormhole space. With no way out and no way to navigate, they just decided to shoot each other's ships until everyone died and respawned back home. Now, this is a great story unto itself, and this is a story that made it into the video. But there's an extra detail. So, I broke one of the rules of journalism, and I read the script in its entirety to a couple of people, to Convict, who is, both of them are on the community team for CCP. They listened to the whole script. Bless their hearts for doing that. God bless them. But Convict was there, and so was Elise Randolph. Elise Randolph is a famed fleet commander, one of the best. And after I read that story, Elise piped up, and he said, so, you know, I tell the story of the fleet going into the wormhole and having to just lose the whole fleet. And Elise Randolph said, yeah, that was me. I inadvertently just revealed to one of the people helping me that I included one of their biggest blunders in my script. That poor motherfucker. I had no idea that it was Elise. Oh, he took it like an absolute champ. He did. Oh, bless him. I could not believe it. Oh, it tickled me. I could not believe it. And make no mistake, Elise Randolph is still a great fleet commander, but that's what you get for fucking around with wormholes and not knowing much about wormholes. Like, he's still one of the best. Thanks to the 100 bits, Tank Facts. It sometimes takes you 3 to 4 hours to get to the topic in stream. If you are putting a 6-hour video out and intending to do a developer's commentary, you need someone sitting behind you in person with a switch whenever you get too far off topic. Yeah, you're right. I should have Nick there. Maybe I get Atrocity Guide in, right? Bring in the crew. Just bring in friends. Put on Titan's super weapon level blast. No, wasn't having Atrocity Guide on great? I want to tell you all something. After the stream, Atrocity Guide said to me that she was very nervous because it was her first stream ever. Her first stream ever was coming on to my stream. And she said she was really scared, but you all were so welcoming and so kind that she just had a fantastic time. You all did an incredible job making her feel welcome. She expressed that to me, and I felt that you all should know. It meant a great deal. Your kindness and your welcoming nature meant a great deal. Literally one of, I cannot believe I have such a good community on my stream. I feel so... I feel so fortunate. I feel so fortunate to have the viewership that I do. This is like the praise my teachers would give us when we were nice to the substitute teacher. He doesn't think we're rancid. Oh, you're rancid. But like, the good kind of rancid. Like, kimchi. Or cheese. Sweet Maddie G. Thanks for the 100 bits an hour ago. One ticket to see Man-Made Ocean Horrors at 2 p.m.? You're welcome. Fred Fucks. Thanks for the fresh sub.
It looks like you get to visit the bonus bean room.
And Pepper Mage for the 16 goddamn and Kodiak bricks. Thanks for gifting a sub to Malia. Plico with the 500 bits. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna check something. Yeah. Plico is like a patron of stream. Thank you so much. Aqua Monster, thank you for the 13 months. I'm so glad that the Sencha made a difference. If you're still around. Dommy Dexterous, thank you for the 17 months. Hey everyone. Guess what we're gonna do? We're going to go on BRB so I can make a cup of tea. But when we get back, we are going to very much talk about this article in Vanity Fair about the Titan submersible. I saw this article, and this was someone who has been talking about and doing reporting on seafaring things for like researchers, especially it seems like, for a long time. And so it is fascinating to get her perspective. Specifically, the thing that interested me the most in this article, I will spoil it, it's that people have been talking about Ocean Gate and how it was a ticking time bomb for years. This was not an unknown quantity in research spheres. We'll be right back, everyone. Stand up, stretch your legs, stretch your arms, get yourself a sippy. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Did I just gain viewers going to BRB? What the shit? Look, I know this happens. It still surprises me. Yes. I think I'm the only streamer who gains viewers when he goes BRB. It's a sexy ass image. You're not wrong. It's a really good BRB screen. God bless Neo and Andre. Neo, like Tokyo Zilla was the one who did the art for that. And Andre did the animation. Andre is getting hired to do V Shoujo stuff now. Did you guys see that? Andre has been animating V Shoujo trailers. Yeah. Oh, I am so proud of Andre. Oh, I want to scoop that purple boy up. Andre has had a meteoric rise and it's amazing. I had to push him a little bit at the beginning. Like, I told him at the beginning, dude, you are going to get huge immediately. You are going to get huge so fast. And he did. He animated the trailer for Limes' re-debut, and that apparently is where he got discovered. V Shoujo is one of the major VTubing agencies. Yeah, for the concert this weekend. Yes. He did the animation for the trailer. He did all of it for the trailer. I'm so proud of him. Fred is good at making people huge very quickly. I didn't do shit. I just connect people. Although, it has happened a few times where I've connected people and like it's led to cool stuff. Like, I connected Paradox to Alphabusa so that when Alphabusa had to stop doing Warhammer 40k videos, he I connected them. So Alphabusa did an advertisement for Stellaris. Like a whole video that was really good, just by the way. It is very fun in its own right, and I did a voice for it. That was fun. But then when they stopped doing 40k stuff, Paradox swooped in. Like they approached Paradox and were like, "Hey, what if we did World of Darkness stuff?" And Paradox was just like, "Yes. Yes, 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 yes." I mean, like, Alphabusa indirectly made an obscene amount of money for Games Workshop, introduced so many people to Warhammer. And now, people are learning about World of Darkness because of Alphabusa. And then, I did connect Andre with Limes, and Andre did the trailer for Limes, and then, and that got Andre noticed by V Shoujo. Which is awesome. And let's get one thing straight. I take no credit for any of this. It's just nice that I can connect people so that they can do cool stuff. It makes me happy to see that I could have any hand in, like, making the connection happen. I pay people with exposure. I pay all the people I work with, god damn it. It's actually amazing how many incredible people I've gotten to meet as, like, over my 7 years as a content creator. I've gotten to meet so many amazing people. Red pays it. Shut the fuck up. I pay people with indecent exposure. Yeah, you want to touch my skeleton dick and my butt? And all my weird stuff? I bet you do. Hey. I've got you guys to balance out all those amazing people. No. I balance out everyone else. Like, I can't let everyone else be, like, too good. I have to bring them down. I remember last stream I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go up, like I'm gonna go to a live event and I'm gonna go up to some fans and be like, yeah, you want to touch my skeleton dick in my butt?" See, I just thought it was funny, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Wait a minute. Yeah, do not. I'm gonna spaghetti bob people in the middle of a con and then get arrested for sexual assault. Remember Fred said Mike is the friend that makes people feel better? Look, GG, you know what I fucking meant. Everyone know I'm gonna vomit. Not the cancellation route you want to take. I want to get canceled for making too many 9/11 jokes. There you go. There's your counter, Neri. Happy? Nice. Hello, nice. We're about to talk about the Titan submersible disaster because a very interesting article just came out. It's the machine. It is Titan time. I want to check to make sure. Was there anything else I desperately wanted to show all of you before I go in? Oh, there's some funny Star Citizen shit. Do you want to see the stuff that Star Citizen is retweeting thinking that it makes them look good? There are some people doing a ship showdown. Face over IP was like the worst thing to happen to this game.
The other day in chat, we were talking about Ship Showdown, and one of them had mentioned the Scorpius, and he was like, can the Scorpius even kill a hammerhead? And I was like, bro, do you even pilot? Start the timer!
How are those 10 years treating you? Yeah. Yeah. Spy Kids looking ass bullshit.
First volley is good, stay on that same.
I'm muting this. Okay, I'll have a little bit. Like, this is cool.
Alright, that's good, it's empty, make sure you focus that same spot.
Wait. Dude.
Just above the floor.
Dude. It's a hammerhead. Why are you having so much trouble keeping your reticle on the pip? Is he trying to No, he's not even hitting a lot of the time. He's not even targeting. Oh my god. I'm gonna vomit. Anyway. Sorry. I did play Star Citizen for a little while, and flying in that game is an absolute joy. But like that is one thing Star Citizen has going for it. The flight model is so good. Oh my god, flying in that game is such a joy, especially when you have dual sticks. When you have two joysticks. Oh, fuck. So good. But goddamn. The space flight was boring. It's one of those core problems. Like I don't mind just vibing going from place to place. That's just me.
Chat, we were talking about Ship Showdown.
Can't.
And one of them had mentioned the Scorpius, and he was like, can the Scorpius even kill a hammerhead? And I was like, bro, Do you even pilot?
Bro.
Do you even pilot?
Do you even pilot? Oh. Okay, you guys. Funny enough, this is a problem that VTubers with good stuff, with a good setup, struggle with. The eyes. If you are having trouble with the eyes like this, what you do is you link the eyes. No, people won't be able to wink, but it's a small price to pay to prevent this. Super Snack Bros, thanks for the 17 months. Skibidi Citizen. Hold on. Here we go.
Better day in chat.
Wanna see you work your body.
Plague Brat, thanks for the 5 months. Ooh, no prime sub streak. Oh no. Look, nobody gives a shit about like streaks, about sub streaks, because it's so easy to accidentally drop a sub like for like a day, and like, oh no, I lost my streak. Whatever. You know how many people I've been subbed to for like 2 years, but like my streak is like a month off? Check DMs is even worse than you think in the Star Citizen community. Wait, where? What? Which DM? Oh. Hold on, let me see this. Okay, I'm curious. Oh, it's Wooly. Unless no, this is late. I didn't no. Which DMs? Uh-oh. Oh, is the Star Citizen community not happy? 3 years of Chow Hall development. I remember them promising this. Oh yeah. It's just a feature that's been delayed over and over and over again. Maintenance was done for several story scenes. The team also updated all bunk bed and mess hall scenes. On the gameplay side, yep, this is going all the way back to 2020. Usables for the mess hall. It's just like getting the mess hall working is apparently a goddamn nightmare. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Stickeneer is correct. It really is one of those like games that was supposed to be the everything game. And boy, it did not work. Like, man, just focus on one thing, do it well. People like, I don't know, just do one thing well. Hey, you guys want to look at the Titan finally? We have taken enough time, but I really want to look at this article with you guys. The Titan submersible disaster was years in the making. To many in the tight-knit deep-sea exploration community, this is my shit. Like really niche, specific communities like this. Ocean Gate's submersible divers were reckless and often dangerous. Fate cleared up the weather, blew off the fog, and calmed the waves as the submersible and its 5 passengers dived through the surface waters and fell into another world. So we're just going to go through a little bit. Yep, pressures of 5,000, then 6,000 pounds per square inch. One thing that's really frustrating about this is that they were using carbon fiber, which is a building material that doesn't do great under pressure, just because if there are any inconsistencies, which there are likely to be, things go wrong, it cracks, it breaks. All it needs is one tiny point of failure. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't do well with compressive strength. It's amazing that it survived for as long as it did. One frustrating thing is that the Titan had microphones. They had acoustic sensors, basically microphones, listening for sounds in the hull, specifically to hear if it was cracking. The problem is that if you're down there and you start hearing cracking in the carbon fiber, not going to help much. As the world now knows, yep, I hope they watched the abyss with awe through their viewport, because I'd like to think their last sights were magnificent ones. Oof. As the world now knows, Stockton Rush touted himself as a maverick, a disruptor, a breaker of rules, so far out on the visionary curve that, for him, safety regulations were mere suggestions. "If you're not breaking things, you're not innovating," he declared at the 2022 GeekWire Summit. "If you're operating within a known environment, as most submersible manufacturers do, they don't break things. To me, the more stuff you've broken, the more innovative you've been." So, completely unrelated. How many times has this guy been divorced? Just wondering. Just wondering. I'm just asking questions. Actually, it's a good thing that all of my marriages have fallen apart. In a culture that has adopted the ridiculous mantra, "move fast and break things," that type of arrogance can get a person far. But in the deep ocean, the price of admission is humility, and it's non-negotiable. The Abyss doesn't care if you went to Princeton or that your ancestors signed the Declaration of Independence. If you want to go down into her world, she sets the rules. I've mentioned this many times on stream before, but when I've been scuba diving, every time I've been down, I am struck by the sensation that I'm really not supposed to be there. Humans aren't supposed to be that deep for that long. We are unwelcome. We are intruders. And the very environment fights back against our existence. If you do not respect it, it will devour you. And her rules are strict, befitting the gravitas of the realm. To descend into the ocean's abyssal zone, the waters from 10,000 to 20,000 feet, is a serious affair, and because of the annihilating pressures, far more challenging than rocketing into space. The subs that dive into this realm, there aren't many, are tested and tested and tested. Every component is checked for flaws in a pressure chamber and checked again, and every step of this process is certified by an independent marine classification society. This assurance of safety is known as classing a sub. Deep-sea submersibles are constructed of the strongest and most predictable materials as determined by the laws of physics. In the Abyss, that means passengers typically sit inside a titanium or steel pressure hull, forged into a perfect sphere, the only shape that distributes pressure symmetrically. Yeah, nature loves circles. Just as a general rule. Submissive and classable. Fuck off, Ig. Go sit in timeout. Do you guys get told, like, in the chat when I time someone out? Like, does it actually say that? I'm going to time out. How many of you do I have to time out? It does with the 7 TV setting. Oh, okay. Good. That means adding crush-resistant syntactic foam around the sphere for buoyancy and protection to offset the weight of the titanium. That means redundancy upon redundancy with no single point of failure. It means a safety plan, a rescue plan, an acute situational acute situational awareness at all times. It means respect for the forces in the deep ocean, which Stockton Rush didn't have. He looks like a pencil eraser. Unfortunately, June 18th, 2023 wasn't the first time I'd heard of Rush, or his company Ocean Gate, or his monstrosity of a sub. And this is the part that really interested me, that I wanted to hear about. I want to hear about the people talking about this, right? Like, how did other people, how do other people in the community see it? He and the Titan have been a topic of conversation talked about with real fear on many occasions by numerous people I met over the course of 5 years while reporting my book, The Underworld: Journeys to the Depths of the Ocean. I heard discussions about the Titan as a tragedy in waiting on research ships, during deep-sea expeditions, in submersible hangars, at marine science conferences. I had my own trouble encounter with Ocean Gate in 2018 and had been watching it with concern ever since. Everyone I met in the small, tight-knit world of manned submersibles was aware of the Titan. Everyone watched in disbelief as Rush built a 5-person cylindrical pressure hull out of filament-wound carbon fiber, an unpredictable material that is known to fail suddenly and catastrophically under pressure. It was as though we were watching a horror movie unfold in slow motion, knowing that whatever happened next wouldn't be pretty. But like screaming at the screen, nothing that came out of anyone's mouth made any difference to the ending. It's like someone... I feel like everyone on the outside looking in is like someone who has watched The Thing before and is watching it for a second time and is screaming at the people in the helicopter, "Shoot the dog! Shoot the dog!" Like, yeah, because this has happened before. Like, this kind of bullshit has happened before. Regulation is written in blood. This is something that I heard listening to Brick and Mortar. He talked about, like, he was talking about a highway bridge collapse and how sometimes collapses or like grievous problems, catastrophic failures, they can help regulation by pointing out problems that otherwise wouldn't have been seen. And so oftentimes when a big mistake happens, it's not just because they want to prevent it from happening again, it's because now they know what to look for. Brick and Morty. Shut the fuck up. But yes, the frustrating thing is when people just disregard those errors. The point is, don't let people die in vain. Like, oh, I think sometimes with people like Stockton Rush, there's this feeling that the reason they failed was because they just weren't as good as me. with no specifics. It's a vague, hand-wavy belief. I am better. I'm the good one. I'm more intelligent. I've got more of a go-getter attitude and spirit. The ocean doesn't care. Of all the places, like, you can have that kind of attitude in soccer, in sports, in video games, writing even. Like creative endeavors. Sure, those people can make great things because they're so confident. But in the ocean, none of that matters. And now, Stockton Rush is very confident jelly. In December 2015, 2 years before the Titan was built, Rush had lowered a 1/3 scale model of his 4,000 meters sub-to-be into a pressure chamber and watched it implode at 4,000 psi, a pressure equivalent to only 2,740 meters. The test's stated goal was to validate that the pressure vessel design is capable of withstanding an external pressure of 6,000 psi, corresponding to a depth of about 4,200 meters. He might have changed course then, stood back for a moment and reconsidered. But he didn't. Instead, OceanGate issued a press release stating that the test had been a resounding success because it demonstrates that the benefits of carbon fiber are real. This is kind of like when SpaceX made their rocket and it exploded in mid-flight. I figured, well, that's okay. They were expecting it to do that, right? They weren't expecting to retrieve it. If it survived, that's great. But they got the data that they were after. Here's the problem. It killed all of the wildlife in a vast swath of land. I don't think that they planned for that. Hey VR Jim, how are you all doing? Welcome in. This feels like that, right? It's not, oh, it failed, but we got some good data. Because the authors, I want to make sure I get her name right. Susan Casey. Susan Casey is being very deliberate with her wording here. The test, well, actually, she didn't even say it, right? Their goal was to validate that the pressure vessel design is capable of withstanding an external pressure of 6,000 psi. They weren't out to collect data. They were out to prove themselves right. Well, Stockton was at the very least. And so when it failed, it didn't give them good data. It demonstrated that they were right. Actually, I'm sure that all of you have met a person who says, actually, I'm right. I'm like, even though you proved I'm wrong, I'm still right. And then they move the goalposts. I've known people like that. To quote a very well-spoken member of the EVE community, I want to tickle their nose hairs with my goddamn shoe. I swear, if any of you says, yeah, you, Fred, I'm timing you out. Eat Lake Dredge appraisal, Pete. Well, now I can't. Rush didn't even break stride. I guess this is just so frustrating because I feel like there was potentially a lot to learn from a test like this. And he just refused to learn it. He could have, but he actively refused. Rush didn't even break stride. He ran right on ahead, plowing hard into his director of marine operations, David Lockridge. And this is stuff that we have heard before, but it bears repeating. Lockridge had emigrated from Scotland to work for OceanGate, selling his home in Glasgow, moving to Washington State with his wife and 7-year-old daughter. Unlike many of his new colleagues, Lockridge was an established undersea pro, a submersible and remote-operated vehicle pilot, a marine engineer, and underwater inspector for the oil and gas industry. He'd piloted rescue subs for the British Navy to save men trapped aboard downed military submarines. So, a dude with some experience. I'd like to point out, submersibles are a lot of fun. When I was in high school, I went to a camp at the Marine Hatfield Science Center in Newport, Oregon. I went, we stayed there for a few weeks. I got to do that. It was really cool. Like, I'm so glad my parents let me do that. And one of the things they had us do was build a submersible. Except my team didn't look very closely at the instructions. They just gave us a bunch of PVC pipe and netting and weights and stuff. And we were supposed to make submersibles that were able to grab rings. So we had to build it and then pilot it in a competition amongst everyone in the camp. Awesome. Tons of fun. Loved it. And it was a very good-natured competition, right? Like everyone had a good time. I have very fond memories of this. But here's the thing. My team didn't look very closely at the instructions, and so rather than going by the instructions, we built our own design that worked on completely different principles. So we were given 3 motors. We were given 3 little aquarium motors that were supposed to propel this submersible. One of them was supposed to control the y-axis, one of them was supposed to control the x-axis, and one of them was supposed to control the z-axis. We said, fuck that. Instead of having 1 motor per axis, we put 2 motors on the back and then 1 on the front that was facing vertical to control the pitch, and we made a fucking water car. We made a water car. Now, everyone else was having tons and tons of trouble getting their submersible to move in the way that they needed, but I figured, and we all figured together, that we could solve that problem by just doubling the propulsion. And when competition day came, everyone else had, their submersibles looked almost exactly the same. And ours looked like a fucking car. Hold on, Hold on a second. I should ask my mom if she has photos of this. Oh, I should ask my mom. Okay, I'm gonna go bother my mom soon. If I have the photos, if I have photos of it, I will let you know. Here we go. So we arrived at the competition and we pulled out our submersible and we were all like,
I'm a fucking car.
So finally, you know, the day comes and we take our submersible and and everyone else is going, right? Like there was a little bit of contention, right? Like they didn't follow the instructions. Like, should they be allowed to compete? And the instructors were like, well, we don't want to like completely just disqualify them so they can't do anything. So they let us into the competition with our little car submersible. And as it turns out, everyone else was desperately struggling to get their submersible to work and move. And ours was fucking awesome. We kicked everyone's ass. crushed them. If we needed to change pitch, or like if we needed to change our z-axis, we just tilted down. We just tilted the nose down. And the way that we weighted it, it always stayed upright. We never had problems with it writing because we made sure with the buoyancy that it would always be upright. So we fucked up, but we made something better. Oh my god, Caffeine Kangaroo. 5,000 bits. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Ah. Chill. I love how the common theme with Fred and competitions is that someone complains about you somehow. You continue with what you're doing and kick ass. Oh, were you talking about the BB gun story at the Boy Scout camp? Or I think it was Cub Scouts. Because Boy Scouts, you actually had guns. Yeah. The time where I was accidentally given a BB gun with 11 BBs instead of 10, but even when they took away my best shot, I still won. So they took my 10 worst, and I still won. No, my brother is 100% the actual anime protagonist. My brother's hair is beautiful. My god. I want to have him on stream sometime. Maybe I should have him on to do Total Warhammer sometime. He'd kick my ass. That's okay. Unbelievable. Shut the fuck up. So anyway. I kind of went on a little tangent there. Forgive me. So, David Lockridge. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Aw. Caffeine, I love your model. Been wanting an owl OC for so long, but there's so many options and variety. Yeah, owls are they're a species with a lot of variance. You can do so much with them. If you're not sure where to go though, ear tufts. Ear tufts are always good. Not a furry. Fuck off. By January 2018, the Titan was nearly completed, soon to begin its sea trials. But first, Lockridge, who according to his contract was responsible for ensuring the safety of all crew and clients during submersible and surface operations, would have to inspect the sub and pronounce it fit to dive. And that wasn't going to happen. Rabbit, shut the fuck up.
Guys, don't listen to him. He's a furry.
Who the fuck? Who the fuck did that, drunken opossum? Where the fuck are you? Get the... Hold on. User list. Drunken opossum. More like timed out opossum. Got him. Don't you dare time out people who give you money. I will time out anyone I fucking want. I'm mad with power. I am too powerful. Wow, I have power. I like this. Hahaha, you're in danger. Lockridge had been watching the sub's progress with ratcheting alarm. He'd argued with OceanGate's engineering director, Tony Neeson. OceanGate had responded by refusing to let Lockridge examine the work on the sub's oxygen system, computer systems, acrylic viewport, O-rings, and the critical interfaces between its carbon fiber hull and titanium end caps. Mating materials with such wildly divergent pressure tolerances was also not advised. Neeson did not respond to requests for comment. Oh, thanks for the 100 bits, Mev. Mevolander. Everyone, you all have Mevolander to thank for the Fat Nuts moniker, because they are the one who did the math and figured out how big my nuts would be. Okay, what is this?
There's a bird over there.
Stockton used undergrads with paintbrushes to apply, oh my god. Wait, what? You're not going to get a sound seal that way. Are you kidding me? Burninator. Oh my god, Burninator. I hate that copy pasta. Oh, that's the worst. Oh, that's the fucking worst. That is the actual worst. Oh, I hate this. Oh, that's the worst. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is the worst copy pasta ever. Oh, I hate this. Is this original? Is that an original copy pasta? Well, if you're the only one here, there's nothing to do but burn it down. I feel like there are two routes that I could go here. I could either fall into despair, or I could burn it. I could burn it all. Sips tea, literally. That is actually evil. You could also revel in having a massive pay pig. I was considering this option. That was a pattern interrupt. Jesus Christ. Hello, Fred Newton. Oh god, people are doing it in the Scorn font and the Uwu version. Now we need, like, the Uwu version in the Scorn font. I know that it's not Scorn font. I know that it's all Chinese radicals. But, like, someone made it into an English font. And it's funny. It is very funny seeing people pronounce Drug as Apier. Skewern. Hello. Oh god. Yep, there it is. That is a nightmare. No. This is rancid. Dan, you are completely correct. This is like, you know how sometimes you keep vegetables for too long, or like vegetables or like bread, and it's like, wow, it's lasted a long time. Like I wonder if it's going bad yet, and then just overnight it explodes into a rancid, moldy mess. That's what this chat is. You all were so good for 2 years, and now suddenly the mold spores have penetrated the surface. And now it's just rancid. I wonder why. It's the Mike spores. It's Mike. Mike planted his little mold spores in my chat. Our mycelium requires sacrifices. Deep root disease. Oh god. It's Gemini Home Entertainment all over again. The divorce spores. I feel like I deserve this somehow. I'm not certain what I did. Like, what of the many horrific things I have done to deserve this? To call this place evil implies a clarity of purpose that I am not willing to attribute to anyone involved. You can't blame Mike, it was the owl Sona. Yeah, but like, Mike's spores... You know how a mushroom lands somewhere, and then it makes a mycelium web underneath everything, and it kind of gets into everything? Like that. That's Mike's mold. His mycelium, his mushrooms. Oh, thanks for the 100 bits, Caffeine. Could I refer to your OC to draw inspiration from if you get an owl OC? Of course. Of course. Please. I would be flattered. Emmy, thanks for the 100 bits. You thought it was Drunken Opossum, but it was me, Dio. Oh my god. Are the different... I am convinced now that all of you actually are Drunken Opossum, but you are all separate splinters of Drunken Opossum's fractured mind. Maybe he's like, maybe each one of them has trained an AI on them. Oh my god, did any of you see, like, I tuned in for a little bit to Mike's stream last night for the AI detective murder mystery. What a nightmare. That game looks like shit. It looks, as a game, it looks terrible. As content, it looks amazing. Funny bit, can we get back to the point? This is the point. We go off on tangents. This is just stream. The accident was 20 years ago. You have to let Drunken Opossum go. Yeah. Someone in Alfie's chat came up with that. That is evil. Oh my god. Alfie has the most evil viewers. Thanks for the 100 bits, Blind Archer. Mycelium. That's really good. Well, that's really good. When Lockridge voiced his concerns, he was ignored. So he inspected the Titan as thoroughly as he could. Then he presented Rush and other OceanGate senior staff with a 10-page quality control inspection report that listed the sub's problems and the steps needed to correct them. Verbal communication of the key items I have addressed in my attached document have been dismissed on several occasions, Lockridge wrote on the first page, so I feel now I must make this report so there is an official record in place. These issues, he added, were significant in nature and must be addressed. Lockridge listed more than 24 items that required immediate attention. These included missing bolts and improperly secured batteries, components zip-tied to the outside of the sub, O-ring grooves were machined incorrectly, which could allow water ingress, seals were loose, a highly flammable petroleum-based material lined the Titan's interior, hosing looped around the sub's exterior, creating an entanglement risk, especially at a site like the wreck of the Titanic, where spars, pipes, and wires protrude everywhere. Oh, thanks for the 31 bits, Muda. The crab bits. So the inside would burn very easily. Yet even those deficiencies paled in comparison to what Lockridge observed on the hull. The carbon fiber filament was visibly coming apart, riddled with air gaps, delaminations, and Swiss cheese holes, and there was no way to fix that short of tossing the hull in a dumpster. The manufacturing process for carbon fiber filament is exacting. Interwoven carbon fibers are wound around a cylinder and bonded with epoxy, then bagged in cellophane and cured in an oven for 7 days. The goal is perfect consistency. Any mistakes are baked in permanently. Given that the hull would be seeing such immense pressures not yet experienced on any known carbon-hulled vehicle, we run the risk of potential interlaminar fatigue due to pressure cycling, Lockridge wrote, especially if we do have imperfections in the hull itself. So when they say interlaminar fatigue due to pressure cycling, what they're talking about is every time they take the sub down and bring it back up, it's creating more compromises in the hull. So pressure cycling, as in having it go down and up and down and up. And interlaminar fatigue, so like damage or cracks in between the laminations. So basically, the carbon fiber hull is starting to disintegrate. That's the concern. So basically what is happening is every time that sub goes down, the fibers of the carbon fiber hull are coming apart. In other words, every time it goes down, it breaks a little bit more. Yeah, this is the reason that metals are used for this. It's because metals and like alloys are more uniform. It's much easier to make them uniform. That's part of what makes them so solid. That's what makes metal so solid. It's so uniform. The hull would need to be scanned with thermal imaging or ultrasound to reveal the extent of its flaws. Non-destructive inspection is required to be undertaken and subsequent results provided to myself prior to any in-water manned dives commencing, he added, digging in his heels on the scanning. This would reveal any weak spots and provide a baseline that could then be used to check for signs of fatigue after every dive. Scanning the hull shouldn't be a problem, should it? Lockridge noted in another document that OceanGate had previously stated the hull would be scanned. Spoiler alert, the hull was never scanned. The OceanGate engineering team does not plan to obtain a hull scan and does not believe the same to be readily available or particularly effective in any event, the company's lawyer, Thomas Gilman, wrote in March of 2018. Instead, OceanGate would rely on acoustic monitoring, sensors on the Titan's hull that would emit an alarm when the carbon fiber filaments were audibly breaking. Yeah, I feel like that's like having a "you're fucked" alarm. Like, I don't need an alarm to tell me that I'm about to die. I'm going to find out pretty soon anyway. Right? If the carbon fiber is cracking, that means you're fucked. Right? They only get the warning half a second before they're instantly crushed. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like what's the point of having a monitor that tells you that you're about to die with no way to do anything about it? You think it's only the epoxy that's really doing anything? Ugh. At that point, why do you even have the fiber? So, you guys, there was one thing that I wanted to get to in here. And let's see. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We can do the rest of this. We can do the rest of this article if we focus. But yeah, we can go a little over time. It's fine. But there's one part in particular I really wanted to get to. The part where Stockton Rush gets the sub stuck and gets so mad that he throws the controller at someone else in the sub. We're gonna get to that in a minute. This article has some, gamer moment. Man of questions. That's a very sweet question. I'm a bit tired. I'm a little overwhelmed, but I'm good. I'd say overall I'm pretty good. Better than I have been. I'll say that. Hey everyone, you know what I need? A little more tea, and we have quite a bit more article to go. So, I encourage you all to stand up, stretch your legs, stretch your arms. Get yonder selves a sippeth. I'll see you all in just a couple minutes. We will be back to talk about this article, and Stockton Rush's temper. Is Parker there? The puppy? Parker, 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 Parker. Parker, 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 Parker. Parker. For those who don't know, Gigi has a dog that responds to my voice when the speakers are on. Whenever Parker hears my voice, apparently, he comes into the room and hangs out. Because, right, Gigi, Parker, you had Parker ever since he was a puppy. Like, you've been watching my streams since Parker was a puppy, right? And so he got used to my voice. Parker, 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 Parker. That is absolutely precious. It breaks my heart in the best way. I love it. Yeah, Parker was brought home November 2020, right when... Oh. Pavlov the dog. It is so precious. But now I can be like... Now, watch this, watch this. Parker. Parker. Hey, Parker. Parker, Parker, Parker. Good boy. Good boy. I love dogs. Oh. I love dogs. I love cats. I like pets. I like birds. I don't know. I like animals. I don't know. He's a bit more interested in my Hot Pocket. But what if Parker got Hot Pocket? But what if Hot Pocket was for a puppy? What if Hot Pocket was for a puppy? You were your puppy. Okay. You guys want to return to Oh my god. This stream. I have a better name for this stream. Compression Depression. Fuck, that's such a better name. I'm so mad. Hey Marigold Monarch, thanks for the 18 months. I'm watching you for ages since at least your video on the Collier Brothers. Oh, thank you so much for all that you do because it always sparks not joy but a secret other emotion. Wow. You know what? I'll take it. If I can't make people happy, I can at least interest them. That's my take on if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. You can't make people happy. You can at least be interesting. It was a Stealth Red Green Show reference. I evoke Nage and Humber. And a little bit of dorselessness. Yeah. I'll take it. Blind Archer, thanks for gifting a sub to Compresso Depresso. Good. Dude, the Red Green Show is amazing. We should, like, have a day where we just, like, take a look at good Red Green Show clips. God, Red Green Show is good. Hell Whiskers, thanks for the 8 months. You participated in the showing of feet in Mike's chat. I got nothing to show for it but my shame. Yeah, during Mike's stream last night when he wouldn't shut the fuck up about feet, talking to these AI people. He I asked everyone who had my emotes, everyone who has subbed to me to show feet with my feet emotes. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. Right, he keeps misusing idioms. I wonder if that was part of his prompt. I love that the AI, like, falls apart after a while. So amusing. That girl was barefoot, yeah. So, let's check this out. So they had sensors to note when the fiber filaments were breaking. just letting them know just before they died. Lockridge's report was concise and technical, compiled by someone who clearly knew what he was talking about, the kind of document that in most companies would get a person promoted. Rush's response was to fire Lockridge immediately, serve him and his wife with a lawsuit, although Carol Lockridge didn't work at OceanGate or even in the submersible industry, for breach of contract, fraud, unjust enrichment, and misappropriation of trade secrets, threaten their immigration status, and seek to have them pay OceanGate's legal fees. This is fucking insane. In the lawsuit, OceanGate cited its grievances. According to the company, Lockridge had manufactured a reason to be fired. In 2016, he had mooned through the large viewing window Tony Neeson and other members of the OceanGate engineering staff through with whom he had been arguing. So sick, by the way, for those who don't know. This means that the text that they are quoting has a typo, and it's acknowledging the typo and leaving it in. For those who don't know, by the way. I wonder, I figure most people know this, but I also know that some people might not. He unironically showed hole. Yeah. He had repeatedly refused to accept the veracity of information provided by the company's lead engineer and repeatedly stated he did not approve of OceanGate's research and development plans, insisting, for example, that the company should obtain a scan of the hull of Titan's experimental vessel prototype to detect potential flaws. I think that there are laws against this sort of retribution, using the legal system for, like, retribution for something that you are not suing them for. None of this sounds like a real thing. Yeah, no, Dan. I feel like I'm going insane reading this too. Now unemployed, distressed by OceanGate's allegations, and beset with legal bills, Lockridge was in a vulnerable position. He countersued for wrongful termination and sent his inspection report to the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA, in turn, passed it to the Coast Guard. Ironically, Lockridge had saved Rush from himself at least once before. In June 2016, Rush piloted OceanGate's shallow diving sub, the Cyclops 1, to the site of the Andrea Doria, a hulking 700-foot ocean liner and epic entanglement hazard that had sunk in 1956 off Nantucket, in a patch of the Atlantic known for its murky fog and seething currents. The ship lies in 240 feet of turbid water, cobwebbed with discarded fishing lines. At that depth, it is accessible, and just barely, to advanced scuba divers, 18 of whom have died there. 240 feet? Ugh. Ugh. Ooh. Ugh. Oh, God. Ooh. Even with nitrox, you're not going to be able to stay down there for very long at all. Ooh. Okay, so for those who don't know, the deeper you scuba dive, the less time you can spend down. Like 200, so you can get special air that will let you stay down for longer because you need to stop to let the nitrogen out of your body, or else if you surface too quickly, it'll cause bubbles in your bloodstream, called the bends. Might have heard of it. But when you're down, like the farther down you go, the longer you're going to have to wait. And yeah, that's not even to talk about nitrogen narcosis. Oh my God. 240 feet? Really? Like you can get nitrox with less nitrogen in it to try to counter that, but that doesn't... At 240 feet, you're going to get like 3 minutes? Not even. Why the fuck would you do that? Right, does anyone else here scuba dive who can explain to me why the fuck you would dive to 240 feet? Other than saying you had. Like, does anyone else have their scuba license that can fill me in here? Because usually the deepest you want to go is like 120. Like, someone else here has to be scuba certified. Yeah, Rabbit, you can look rough. Like, you can do terrible things. I would not fucking do that. Scuba licensed. Okay. Maybe installing pipelines? Oh, no. Like, that's commercial, right? Like, that's commercial diving. That's a whole other thing. Like, there are plenty of commercial reasons you want to dive that deep. But I'm talking, like, recreationally. You don't do that for fun. As someone who hasn't died can tell you why they did that, because they don't know shit. Yeah, no, if you're working on something mechanical, right. Commercial diving. This isn't commercial diving. I don't know, this sounds stupid. This sounds really stupid. At that depth, it is accessible and just barely to advanced scuba divers, 18 of whom have died there. Rush was headed down to capture sonar images of the shipwreck with Lockridge and 3 clients. Word gets around in the deep sea community. I learned of what happened next from 2 sub-pilots from other companies who both told me the same story on different occasions after hearing it from OceanGate personnel. I also reviewed correspondence related to OceanGate's lawsuit against Lockridge and his wife, in which Lockridge describes the incident. Lockridge declined to be interviewed. So we have 3 people backing up this story. As chief pilot and the person responsible for operational safety, Lockridge had created a dive plan that included protocols for how to approach the wreck. Any entanglement hazard demands caution and vigilance, touching down at least 50 meters away and surveying the site before coming any closer. Rush disregarded these safety instructions. He landed too close, got tangled in the current, managed to wedge the sub beneath the Andrea Doria's crumbling bow, and descended into a full-blown panic. Lockridge tried to take the helm, but Rush had refused to let him, melting down for over an hour until finally one of the clients shrieked, "Give him the fucking controller!" At which point Rush hurled the controller, a video game joystick, at Lockridge's head. Lockridge freed the sub in 15 minutes. He fucking panicked. Hold on. Hold on a second. If I go to my history, I'll bet it'll be there. Here we go.
One more time! No! The Undertaker!
Stockton Rush if he were a Smash player. So, for a little bit of context, that controller wasn't their only means of locomotion. They had multiple controllers on board, typically, according to them. So if that controller broke, it's not like they were shit out of luck. However, throwing a controller around in a submersible like this is probably not the best idea. I feel like everyone working together is pretty important. The expedition had been planned to include 10 dives, but instead it ended abruptly with OceanGate citing adverse weather conditions. After returning to shore in Boston, Rush held a press conference. We were able to view the Andrea Doria area for nearly 4 hours, which is more than 10 times longer than scuba divers can, he announced. The dive, OceanGate's website noted, had focused on the bow of the vessel. Lies. He lied. Writing this now, I feel a variety of emotions. Empathy, of course, for the families of those aboard the Doom Titan. Despair for the mission specialists.
I made it all up. I make stuff up all the time.
That is easily one of the best sound alerts I have decided to put in there. Got the last bits of your Hot Pocket. Bless. Good. Parker deserves it. Good Parker. Parker. So, despair for the mission specialists whose trust in Ocean Gate was so misplaced. Shahzada Dawood, Suleiman Dawood, and Hamish Harding. Sadness because I knew and admired P.H. Nargeolet, a deep-sea icon whose expertise on the Titanic led to his fatal association with Rush. PH and I sailed together in the Pacific on the 2019 Five Deeps expedition when explorer Victor Vesovo piloted a revolutionary sub, the Limiting Factor, to the deepest spots in all 5 of the Earth's ocean basins.
Now I'm getting paid cash with Atlas Earth. We got virtual land all across the globe. Across the globe. The next wave is digital, catch me on the way up. The glow up is visible, couple more. Watch mine gon' go up, it's about to go nuts. It's about to go nuts. Now I'm getting paid, running cash with Atlas Earth. Atlas Earth. Atlas Earth.
Hehe. Join the Wetterverse. Fuck off. Join the Time Doubterverse. Okay, I'm not doing that. It's done. This is so... I feel like there's always an... Oh my gosh, thank you for the 1,000 bits, Caffeine Kangaroo. Oh, we've got a hype train. All chat reporting for Hootie. Haha. Wow, you guys are all my Hooters. Unsubbing. You can't. I stole your credit card. I'm formulating my thoughts. I feel like there is this common idea among the hyper-libertarians, especially like the tech bros, that if you make a mistake, you make a bad investment, you get onto a sub that is that could potentially lead you to your doom, then that's your fault. If you buy food with salmonella in it, that's your fault because you trusted the wrong people. And the thing that's really weird to me is that it's a worldview that seems so interested in assigning blame. Not interested in actually making the world better, but rather saying that people should be able to do what they want, like perfect liberty, and then blaming people who are wronged. That doesn't work on a societal level, right? There is no reasonable way for me to be able to study a plane that I'm going to get on to travel across the country. I have to trust that the people who made the plane kept it well enough maintained that I'm going to be able to get on it. And if I can't trust them to do that, if there is no system in place, then society just falls apart. All of the incredible things that we have made become impossible. because it is suddenly on me to learn everything about aviation to make a proper assessment as to the safety of the plane. That is such an extreme limiting factor that society doesn't get anywhere close to where it is now, if that is the demand placed upon the consumer. I haven't really thought about it like this before. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Maybe none of this makes sense. I'm talking about something that I don't know anything about. I should shut up. I should just shut the fuck up. I guess I don't get it. Maybe there's an answer, right? Like maybe there is an answer. Like there's some sort of limited libertarian ideology that allows for it. But isn't regulation kind of one of the things that allows for modern society to exist at all? That allows us to trust one another enough? Trust one another enough. Like, regulation is what allows us to trust one another enough to do incredible things. To have cars. To have complicated mechanical devices. To keep my phone in my pocket and be relatively assured that it's not going to explode or burn. To get into a plane and be relatively certain that it's not going to crash. I'm not saying that regulation is always good. I'm not saying that regulation is always done correctly. I'm not saying that regulation is becoming less trustworthy by the day. But it has allowed for a lot, right? Like I feel like I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. These are half-baked thoughts. These are half-baked thoughts. I should not be talking about this on stream. Libertarians then would skin libertarians now alive because this shit they believe nowadays isn't libertarianism. That's fair. It is the kind of... this non-libertarian libertarianism is definitely the kind of libertarianism that's taken over Silicon Valley, though. That is the kind that has influence. The kind that wants to remove all regulators. That is the kind that has influence in government. It's the most legitimate kind, in terms of impact. So it's the one that we have to address. Like, I'm willing to bet that there are libertarians who have really, like, interesting ideas that are worthy of consideration. But they're not the ones that are influencing Congress. They're not the ones that are getting the government contracts. Right? Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. It feels too ridiculous. Anyway. I see you, Bobcat Angel. Mevelander, that's fucking wild. Anyways, so writing this now, I feel a variety of emotions. Yep, we got there. Let's see. Yep. Vesovo had commissioned the limiting factor in 2015 and hired Nargeolet, I guess? French? As his technical advisor to vet the sub's design and build. Happily, PH didn't have much to do. The limiting factor was built by Triton Submarines, a company known for its high quality and smart designs, whose co-founder and president, Patrick Leahy, is regarded as the world's most experienced submersible pilot. Vesovo's sub was certified at great cost and difficulty over several years from inception to completion to sea trials to dives by senior inspection engineer Jonathan Struve from Det Norske Veritas, a Norway... Oh, it's Norwegian. A Norway-based international marine classification society that is the gold standard for safety. And my god, the testing. Every piece of the limiting factor was pressure tested to 20,000 psi, an equivalent to a depth of 43,000 feet, 20% greater than full ocean depth. There was so much testing that Triton built its own state-of-the-art pressure chambers in Barcelona, Spain. The only high-powered pressure chamber large enough to fit the passenger sphere was located in St. Petersburg, Russia, so the 4-ton titanium orb was shipped halfway around the world. For days, the sphere was squeezed mercilessly, simulating repeated dives to depths beyond any existing on Earth. Afterward, it showed zero evidence of fatigue. Even millions of cycles would not adversely affect it, Leahy told me. The crushing pressure only makes the sphere stronger. Strua dived with Leahy to 35,800 feet. He wanted to, but also he had to. How else could he certify the limiting factor worthy of the first ever DNV class approval for repeated dives to unlimited depth? Strua was so integral to the sub's success that Leahy considered him to be a co-designer. All this made Rush look awfully foolish within the community as he trash-talked the classification societies. Bringing an outside entity up to speed on every innovation before it is put into real-world testing is anathema to rapid innovation, he complained in a blog post. His sub was simply too advanced for the uninitiated. But Rush also used slippery language to infer to clients that the Titan would be classed. As an interim step in the path to classification, we are working with a premier classing agency to validate Titan's dive test plan. Yeah, the crew died of sensory overload when ocean depths stimulated them. Yes. My balls only become stronger when introduced to immense pressures. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Thank you, anonymous person, for gifting a sub to OSX Dude. And True Blue Review for the 100 bits. Thank you. When I boarded Vesovo's ship in Tonga, I had already digested Nargeole's incredible 5-page resume. It was given to me by Captain Don Walsh, and did you just get paid? Who the fuck? On Mevelander, thanks for the 100 bits. You found the paintbrush video. Can you DM that to me? I want to see this. It was given to me by Captain Don Walsh, Navy Deep Submergence Pilot Number 1. Walsh commanded the Bathyscape. Wait. Bathyscape? What is that? Bathyscape? A self-propelled vehicle used for deep-sea dives. Bathyscape. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, that's some Soma shit. I was gonna say, it's like a bathysphere? It is, but it's not a sphere. Walsh commanded the Bathyscape Trieste in 1960 when he and Jacques Piccard made history by diving 35,800 feet to the Mariana Trench's Challenger Deep, the ocean's absolute nadir. Walsh was 87 years old when I met him in 2019. He had dedicated his entire legendary career to deep-sea science, engineering, and exploration. PH is kind of my parallel on the French side, he told me. He's a walking history. He can give you the European angle on deep exploration. Nargeolet had been a decorated commander in the French Navy, the captain of France's 6,000-meter sub, the Nautile, and the leader of his country's deep submergence group. As commanding officer of the French Navy's explosive ordnance disposal team, he demined the English Channel, the North Sea, and the Suez Canal. And that was just on page 1. I felt awed to meet him and a bit intimidated, but PH was a deeply humble man. He talked about how much he loved the ocean, how diving brought him a sense of peace beyond anything attainable on land. He described how the French pilots in the Nautil would stop for lunch on the sea floor, laying a tablecloth, breaking out silverware, and decanting a bottle of wine. "What's your favorite place to dive?" I asked him. "Volcanic vents," he replied without hesitation. PH also loved the Titanic. He made his first manned dive to the wreck in 1987 and had revisited the site more than 30 times. No one knew the ship's past and present as intimately as he did. He would later write that from the moment he saw it, the Titanic had placed itself at the center of my life. He laughed as he explained why he got a kick out of seeing the Titanic's swimming pool. "Because it looks like it's empty and it's full of water. You don't see the surface, you know." I guess the Titanic swimming pool is filled with water still. Fuck. Fuck off. He's right, but fuck off. One morning, as the limiting factor was being launched, I felt a gentle hand on my shoulder. I was standing too close to the winch. Argiolet guided me to a safer spot, cautioning me in his lovely French accent, "When something goes wrong, it goes wrong very fast." Fuck. Oh my god. Oh. You can still swim in the swimming pool. Fuck off. It's Leroy. "When something goes wrong, it goes wrong very fast. Very fast. Very fast." I'm trying. I can't do Leroy. "When something goes wrong, it goes wrong very fast. Zizi." I love that Whiskey still calls him Furet. The hard T. It's just Furet. It's Furet. Come on, dude. You can do this. Fempathy. Hello. Ouch. I love Leroy so much. I am so excited for everyone in VFur and how that goes. I get the feeling it's going to help a lot. Question for you, is Down the Rabbit Hole still continuing? Yeah, it's continuing. I wonder how many times I'm going to have to answer this. Yes, Down the Rabbit Hole is continuing. The new video just needs the graphics done. I'm just mostly waiting on Ark Axum, my graphic designer. It's just 6 hours long and very complicated, so it's taken a while. And things went very wrong during the production. It's coming out. And no, Down the Rabbit Hole is still my main job. Like, it's still the thing that I do. I need, like, a video command. Yeah, I'm just never doing anything this big again. I'm gonna try to make, like, 30-minute to hour-long videos from now on. If empathy and sadness were the only emotions I felt, I'd be able to sleep better. But I am also angry. Angry at Russia's disrespect for the deep ocean, a realm he professed to want to explore but in reality did not understand. Yeah, he really comes across this way, doesn't he? He just has no interest in the ocean itself, not for its sake. Thanks for the 22 months, Protector of Jam. I didn't know people were doing that, but that's fine. It'll be fun to surprise people. I came up in the comments section of an Illuminati vid recently. And you replied saying I wasn't dead. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know people on YouTube are probably like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, oh, I'll release a video and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, angry because 5 people are dead and many others were jeopardized, all of whom must feel like they've survived a game of Russian roulette after Rush was warned for years that his sub wasn't fit for the purpose. My anger is also personal because when I first heard about OceanGate back in 2018, I was just beginning to learn about submersibles, just beginning to report my book. I didn't yet know how reckless, how heedless, how insane the Titan was. I didn't know that the 4,000 meter sub's viewport was certified to only 1,300 meters. I wanted desperately to dive to abyssal depths, but at the time I couldn't see a way to do it. The handful of vehicles in the world that can dive below 10,000 feet were all dedicated to science. Then suddenly there was Rush holding forth in the media about how his brilliant new sub would take people to see the Titanic and saying things like, if 3/4 of the planet is water, how come you can't access it? And I want to change the way humanity regards the deep ocean. I wasn't very interested in diving to the gruesome Titanic, but I was extremely interested in diving to 13,000 feet. Rush's operation sounded like exactly what I was looking for. I called OceanGate and spoke to a marketing executive, a young person I won't name because they left the company long ago. The 2019 Titanic trips were nearly sold out, they told me, but there would be future expeditions even deeper. The end goal is not 4,000 meters, we're already building to go to 6,000 meters. This was possible because of Russia's many advanced innovations, they explained. The Titan's pressure hull would be made of space-grade carbon fiber. You're not going to space, you dweebs. No, Grizzly Boar, there are people who think I'm scamming my patrons because it's been so long since a video. It's like, you measure it out, it's 30 minutes of video every 2 months or so. So it's like a 30-minute video every 2 months. That's like reasonable pace. Not great, I'd like better. But there are people who think I'm scamming my patrons, and it's like, I don't know how to, like, I can show you the timeline, I can show you how far it's come. But some people just, like, are pissed on my patrons' behalf. Well, my patrons mostly seem fine. Anyone who was unhappy with the output left. And it's like, okay. And then the video will come out. Like, they gave as... Like, they if they wanted to leave, they left. I don't know. I guess... I don't know what to say. Right? Like, this video just took a while because it's big. And people think it's a scam, I guess? They think I'm scamming my patrons? I don't know, man. I want to keep this going as long as I can. The best way to do that is just to make videos. They have post-Spoonie PTSD. That's fair. Like, it's fine criticism to be like, you said this video was going to come out a lot earlier, and it's like, yeah, I did. I thought it was going to be smaller. I thought it was going... Like, I thought I could do it faster. But then I hit snags. And it took longer. Well, people were like accusing me of fraud on Twitter. Like, they thought that my Patreon was a fraud. Which is weird. Because I've been giving updates ever since, like, there was a gap in updates, and that I'm not happy about, but I've been giving progress updates since December. I don't really know what more I can do. Roderick. No, like, productions continued, right? Like, it never stopped. Fred about to become a Kira TV episode. Ah, well. So it goes. Steel just implodes, they said with assurance, as if this was something that had ever happened. What a great line. Steel just implodes, they said with assurance, as if this was something that had ever happened. But carbon fiber gives a warning 1,500 meters before implosion. It makes very specific snapping sounds. There's no other acoustic hull monitoring system in the world. True. No other deep-sea submersible in the world had such a system. Because no other deep-sea sub needed one. Steel, when left on its own, will randomly implode. Is this the part where we also learn it had a screen door? It keeps the nautiloids out. Nautiluses. Keeps them from wandering in. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna level with you guys. I think we might need to finish this another time. Let me just look. Oh god, on the Titan's second deep test dive in April 2019, an attempt to reach 4,000 meters in the Bahamas, the sub protested with such blood-curdling cracking and gunshot noises that its descent was halted at 3,760 meters. Rush was the pilot, and he had taken 3 passengers on this highly risky plunge. One of them was Carl Stanley, a seasoned submersible pilot who would later describe the noises as the hull yelling at you. Jesus Christ. I think the hull has a defect near the flange that will only get worse. The only question in my mind is, will it fail catastrophically or not? Waiting to hear about a mini fridge in that thing? Wait, what is the... Okay. Let me just scam. Yeah, just people talking about like this was inevitable. And just everyone knew this was inevitable. And word got around in the community, which is really small. Battery problems. Yeah, these are all problems that I think we know about. Yet when the world learned of the Titan's disappearance on June 18th, no one I know in deep-sea circles believed that it was simply lost floating somewhere unseen because, the mind reels, it didn't have an emergency beacon. No one believed that its passengers were slowly running out of oxygen. If the sub were entangled amid the Titanic wreck, that wouldn't explain why its tracking and communication signals had vanished simultaneously at 3,347 meters. The fear was collapse, Leahy said bluntly. The fear was always pressure hull failure with the craft. Yup. Yeah. This was up higher. What did the carbon fiber look like, I asked. There was no piece I saw anywhere that had its original 5-inch thickness, he said. Just shards and bits. It was truly catastrophic. It was shredded. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be this way. I'm looking for anything new in this. Yeah. That's about what we wanted to get out of it. We did it. We did it with time to spare. Not really. I need to get go. I need to. Oh, I have stuff I need to get working on. I have a few things I need to do actually, but I think we're gonna wind down. We are going to find. Yes, I have heard the Behind the Bastards episode on Ocean Gate. I have. It's very good. Before we leave, I'm gonna check now. Who's doing what? Ooh, we should. Let's see. Wait, what is this? Advertise to me, baby. What's Limes doing? Oh, Gamescom, right? He was watching Gamescom. He's probably done. What's Junie up to? Looks like Junie's just vibing. Oh, and Junie has just started, like 25 minutes ago. So Junie will be our raid target. Before we do, I have my checklist to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay. Oh, Mev, 100 bits. Thank you. Paintbrush video. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes. I want to see this. Yeah, let me see this shit. Bonding the titanium ring and the carbon fiber hull. Oh, someone made an archive of Ocean Gate videos. Ah. That's... Ah. Okay, I want to see this. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Today is a critical joining of the titanium and the carbon fiber. That seal needs to be uniform and small, but not too small.
Level.
Yeah.
Check the surface out. And we'll check measurements. Between the two components, really what's holding them together and allowing them to move together is the glue. And so you want nice, even movement. It's the glue that's holding the family together, and we want to make sure it's right. Ceramic fiber.
The glue
It's
holding
pretty
it
simple,
together.
But if we mess it up, there's not a lot of recovery.
And you won't know that you fucked it up.
The glue's very thick, so it's not like Elmer's glue. It's like peanut butter.
Yeah? Like peanut butter?
Anything over 30.
That's pretty low, huh?
This needs to be in a more controlled environment, right?
This is the point of no return right here.
Like, this feels
Good already north-south.
haphazard. Doing it by eye.
So that will be the pressure vessel for Cyclops 2. It'll go to 4,000 meters. It'll be the deepest diving carbon fiber.
Are you
sub
kidding me?
When it goes to 4,000 meters.
No. No.
So we will see.
This does feel like analog horror. That is extremely accurate. Oh, fuck. Detroit become dorsless. Christ. No, no. There's no way. There's no way. That... Yeah, spheres are welded in a vacuum. Right. Right. So there's no, like, very, very pure air. So there's no, like, bits of dust or particles, particulates in the glue? No. Oh my god. There is a way. Yeah, that's true. And they paid for it. Hey guys, you ready for Community United Media Share? I want to see what horse shit is here. I wonder if there's Ocean Gate art now. The art is not horseshit. It's the... It's the subject matter. I'm excited. I wonder. I can't help but wonder. Oh my god. Oh my god. Starry the sketch page. Oh my god. There's some amazing shit in here, you guys. Hamster Zerg showing some appreciation for Starry Feathers, actually. This shot is brilliant and should be shown in any film study class. What's the story? Dredged it. Having Henon was so much fun for Dredge Appraisal. Oh my god. Okay, Miss Rock. Goat is small. Taped to wall. I can't believe it. Goat. Goat tape wall. Good. Good. Look at Caldero. Wow, I can't believe it. Hey, look, it's Caldero. Can't believe it. Pet the boy. I don't even have to, like, show the art now. Look, it's just a fella. It's just a fella. It's just a fella. Oh, and we have, of course, we have the blanket update. Making good progress from Caldero. Very nice. The blanket continues to grow. I'm glad to be working on it again as social obligations have prevented me. Aw, I'm glad you're making progress. I'm glad to keep you company while you make progress. Miss Rock, I hate this. It's Star Citizen. It's Skibidi Citizen. Oh god. Skibidi Citizen. Wait. No. Not what I was looking for. Wait. Wait.
My style is ridiculous.
Thanks, I hate it. Oh, we have Gale Pond. Oh. Ear tufts, very important. Haha. You are in danger. You are in danger. You are in danger. Thanks, Gale Pond. He's cute. Oh, this is sick. From Exoskeleton. Look at this. The mycelium requires sacrifices. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is rad. Wait a minute. What's that in the background? What's the text in the background? Oh, it's the fucking copy pasta in the background. They're the only viewer I've ever had. Oh my Christ. This is really cool looking. Love this. Thank you so much, Exoskeleton. And I'm gonna refresh to make sure. Ah, here we go. Okay, we've got some good art from South Springs. I believe this is the... Is this the first that we've seen of South Springs? Look at this. It's so cute. Touch my skeleton dick and my butt. And all my weird stuff. My weird stuff, I bet you do. Hold on. I think if I... What? No? There. This is precious. I love it. Thank you, South Springs. And we did it. We made it to the Starry Feathers sketch page. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, you wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? And all my weird stuff, I bet you do. Yeah,
Yep.
I bet you do. Yeah, you wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? And all my weird stuff, I bet you will. Yeah, I bet you wanna touch my skeleton still. Fucked up like a bridge in the country. With my pelvis full of energy. I'll rage you out like an enemy. Put you in a bag with BWC. I was the man in 63. 100 years, I'm so bony. I don't let it stop me. Activia and Advil with my Remy. Cup full of calcium. Mercury and
Oh, Stir Bear art.
battery and some cognac.
Okay, we'll do that first.
Sharpie and a blackjack. Count cards like a live
Can I
man.
miss it?
Put in more work than a 55 man. I'm moving out like your dad. You wanna touch my skeleton dick and my butt? Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, and I will never shame you. Getting skeleton shamed to 2064.
Did I
That was
miss?
my punishment. I'll show you to the door.
Did I miss Olivine's art as well? I didn't miss it, did it? When you destroy an entire lake's ecosystem. Thanks for the 100 bits, Marco. I see it. I get it. It's okay. It's okay.
Welcome to the fucking skeleton zone.
Yeah, Stir Bear, are you like shadow banned on there or something? I'm going to your profile. Oh my god, this sketch page. Oh, this is good. Whoops. Sorry, that was on my end. What is this? On Ocean Gate. As a wise man once said, man's now soup. Count your blessings and move on. Jesus Christ. The face when a billionaire ignores the folly of ego. No, Lockridge, I am the gamer. Stockton Rush is the real gamer. Excuse me, the controller was wireless? Who would have wires nowadays? Get in, chat, it's perfectly stable. Stream. It's the SS stream topic. We'll totally not veer completely off course. Thanks for alerting me to Steer Bear's art. We need the Boru up really bad. Wires would only get in the way of the throwing aerodynamics. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yep, there's a jug of duck shit tea. Delicious. Just chug it. Oh, there's me in bed reading. This was me. This was... Oh, wait, no, we can't see. There we go. Jug of duck shit tea. Yeah, just... This is the... Starry, this is the second time that you have shown me deep-throating a cylinder. The first time was also tea. Oh, so look at this. A time machine. It's yours. No sleep. Yeah, I'd slept like... Hold on, when did I fall asleep? Like 4 a.m. and I woke up at like 7 and couldn't get back to sleep? Yeah, something like that. Fuck. Did not sleep well at all. And oh, look at me and Mary writing together. I really do like writing with Mary. It is a very great pleasure. I feel like what we make together is... I think that we're better than the sum of our parts. I know writers who don't use subtext and they're all cowards. Yeah, exactly. All of them are cowards. Oh, interesting. Weird, Snaky. Yeah, it looks like they suppress certain things in the search. Oh, there's me bapping a chat member with a timeout. Just bap. Good. What's this? You gotta lay on your sister, Morby. Oh, jeez, Brick. It's Brick and Morty. Morby. Brick and Morby. Yeah, damn it! Chucking the controller through the hull of the submersible. Oh my god. Yeah, this is good. When things go wrong, they go wrong very fast. It's the baby. Look at the baby Leroy. Oh my gosh. We have Smart Circle and Coffin. This is, you might say that this is cylinder shape. It's actually coffin shaped. Yes. Come, mycelium. I just realized that rhymes. It's Mike. Oh my god, it's a bunch of little Mike shrooms. Come, yeah, cool. Hey, feet, come. Could you imagine being able to tell that your bread has gone bad because it just, like, you start hearing little like noises yelling, come. Fat Nut viewers are Hooters, yes. Hello, my Hooters. I like how the I's are the O's in this. Radical. Oh, there's me with my little car submersible. It's a vroom, 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 vroom. I'm a fucking car. And then here we go. Uvido. Uvido. Does anyone still have that copied? How did he say it exactly? I can't remember how he said it. Oh, no, it's do more again Uvido. I love murder. It's his name. Bless him. Do more video again. Oh, it's do more video again. That's what it is. And there's Star Citizen. Star Citizen Loren. Do I still have it up? The resemblance is uncanny. Hold on, we have to get that cringe in there again.
Bro, do you even pilot?
Bro. Oh, you can see it lost tracking at the end there.
Bro, do you even pilot?
You went back to the neutral. Bro, do you even pilot? Do more video again. By the way, there was no question mark at the end of do more video again. Just FYI. Oh, this is so precious. Ugh. Also, I feel like I'm being called out because I do wear a hoodie to bed. Often with the hood up. It's comfy. I like sleeping with a hoodie on. Of course you do. Fuck off. Do more video again? No, don't do it again. Sorry, you're fine. Hold on. Do more video again. That's going to be our raid message, by the way. So hold on, I'm trying to think of all the comments that I've gotten that I just am in love with. I have what is the fuck, you are a ghoul. I have fat nuts, came from that. I have what, critical thinker hair. Oh, do you want to spread this? Okay, yeah, you know what? We could do, I'm gonna let you all do more video again, but also, hi, it's me, your only viewer. For months I've created the illusion. Yeah, hi Juniper. Add her name. Copy off of Macroglossum if you so desire. We're gonna call it. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I'll see you Thursday. It has been a pleasure. No, don't copy the whole thing. Don't copy here. I'll copy it. There we go. Goodbye everyone. See you Thursday.